Hello, my name's Bridget Cromhout. I'm a Principal Program Manager at Microsoft Azure, and today we're going to talk about Helm, the package manager for Kubernetes. We can use Helm charts to describe applications for a repeatable installation. We can define, install, upgrade, even the most complex Kubernetes applications, doing updates, sharing, rollbacks, etc. And we can create, version, share, and publish Helm charts. We'll do a quick demo to show how to get started with Helm, work with charts, and install and reinstall an application. We'll start with the most current version of the Helm client. Helm lists Helm releases in a Kubernetes cluster, so we need one of those. You can use Helm with any Kubernetes cluster, including managed Kubernetes like that offered by AKS. Let's start with the current version of the Helm client and a local install of Minikube for simplicity. Helm installs charts or Helm packages into Kubernetes, creating a new release for each installation. And to find new charts, you can search Helm chart repositories. You can create charts yourself, but to start with, let's look at community-provided charts. You can search on Artifact Hub in a browser or from the CLI to see what's available. Say we want to install WordPress. Okay, look on Artifact Hub for that. And we can choose a chart from a verified source, like Bitnami has a WordPress chart. In the past, Helm was pre-configured with default chart repositories. These days, charts are decentralized and found in many repositories, so we can add the Bitnami repo to our local Helm search. We can look at all the charts available, and including all the versions of the charts that we're interested in, such as WordPress. Oh, and note that we have a chart version and an app version aren't necessarily the same thing. A new version of the chart with different variables, etc., can be released, and the version of the app may or may not be changing. So we're going to install the most current version. In this particular case, we can actually pull the chart down and look at it locally before we install it. In this case, we can see if there's anything we want to customize. So let's take a look in the values.yaml. So we can see what we could set. There is a blog name. We definitely can give it a more customized blog name for this particular instance. One way we can customize it is with a command line flag with --set. We can set any variables that way at initial installation. So note in this case, by the way, that the load balancer IP is listed as pending. It will stay that way forever without intervention because unlike public cloud providers, Minikube doesn't offer a load balancer. We can work around this with Minikube Tunnel. All right, we talked before about our customized title to start. So let's take a look. We've found WordPress on Artifact Hub, and we have our customized title on our WordPress installation in this particular case. All right, so now we have our WordPress site. We can log into it, take a look, see the username and password, get in through the admin interface, and we can see it is in fact customized in the database locally. Okay, but say we want to change something else. If we want to release a change, before we used set on the command line, we can also use a YAML file. Let's take a look at the values that are set. These are the user supplied values we set ahead of time now. but we can do a new release with a change using Helm upgrade. Notice that it failed because it expects a password, which we can work around. Providing that on the command line. Okay, let's take a look now. We're on revision 2. Did our update make it in? Hey, look at that. It says goodbye KubeCon. And you notice that we've deployed the second release, changed the title. It'll be active when that pod goes active. We can look at the history for this revision with the correct command line tool. We can see that our initial revision 1 was superseded. And our first release is no longer active, and our second release is what's active. And you can see that's where we're at now. But wait, what if we don't want to say goodbye? We want to go back to the original. If we have regrets, well, time travel is not possible, but we can redeploy a previous version. You can see we've rolled back to the first release. Let's look at those values now. Hey, look at that. You say hello. And you can see there that our rollback to the first version is complete. And you can see kubectl. It'll just take a minute for it to be active in our WordPress pod. Notice that, by the way, this is a composed application, has MariaDB running. We haven't been changing that at all. But now our new WordPress is active. And we're on revision 3. We don't have to have this running. We could uninstall it. Uninstalls pretty quickly. And kubectl doesn't see it anymore. In summary, Helm is the package manager for Kubernetes. Helm charts allow for repeatable application installation. And, nice to know, Helm is a graduated CNCF project maintained by the community. So you can visit the Helm site for docs and community engagement, learn more about Kubernetes on Azure, and check out more demos. Thank you.